As client needs evolve and marketing becomes more interconnected, agency networks are under pressure to become more agile and integrated. Joining us today is Rohan Mehta, Chief Transformation Officer at Omnicom Advertising India, to talk about his new role and how he sees the industry changing. So welcome, Rohan, and thank you for talking to us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. You stepped into this newly created role at a time when agency networks are navigating rapid changes in technology, talent, and client expectations. What excited you most about taking this role?
I think what excites me most in life is learning. And I think this role is a lot of learning, and I get to do that at a much, much larger scale.
Right.
So I think that's the most exciting part of it. Over the last 15 years, my professional journey has largely revolved around Kinnect. And at Kinnect, we've tried to evolve along with the market, sometimes ahead of the market. We put creativity and media together under one roof in 2013, before that conversation ever became big. We got into bloggers and influencers in 2016 and have built the largest influencer desk in the country. And then we invested in CRM and CX in COVID, which has become a large part of what advertising agencies are expected to do today. What I'm saying by that is that I'm usually very curious about where we came from and where advertising and marketing was, but I'm most excited about where it's going,
Right.
and building solutions in where it's going in the future. And I think with this role, I get to do that a lot, and that's what's fantastic about it. I think marketing has evolved so much beyond communication. Brands now show up in a lot more places than they ever did, and the expectations are around influencer, technology, AI, CRM, apps. And so I think a brand has to show up in so many different places. And Omnicom has some fantastic capabilities in these places. So the job is to find them, to scale them, and for clients to be able to access them in a seamless manner within the system.
Right.
At Kinnect, I got to do this with 600 people. Now I get to do this with 3,000 plus people. So it's a massive platform.
Of course.
And I think transformation is about learning. And when you stop learning, you stop growing, you stop evolving.
Fair enough, and congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so again, transformation has become one of industry's most used buzzwords, often meaning different to different organizations. How are you defining transformation for Omnicom India?
See, Omnicom already has a fantastic platform. We have some great clients, great agency brands, fantastic talent, long-term relationships. So the aim is not to rebuild any of that. It is to just make all of it relevant in an age where consumer behavior, client needs, and technology is rapidly evolving. Right? I think it's about building on the strengths that we have. So transformation to me is about progression. Building on the strengths of strategic thinking, creativity, and ability to execute in this world, and then layering it on with digital capabilities that make it more relevant.
Okay, fair enough. And agency networks are balancing growing client demands, technological disruptions, and increasing competition from consultancies and specialist firms. What do you see as the biggest challenge that agency networks are facing today?
See, over the last 5-6 years, the world has gone through a lot of turmoil. There's been COVID, there has been globalization, changing of leaders in different democracies, wars that we go through. All of these have had an impact on business at different periods of time. And in a lot of our businesses and a lot of our clients, we've seen that businesses are having difficulty growing, struggling with margins and so on. So all of these eventually come and impact the agency too. And I think the biggest problem that we face is pricing. In this increasingly high pressure world, how do you ensure that agency revenues also match up to talent demands and are being able to evolve that quickly? And I think the answer to that is about moving away from efficiency and focusing on effectiveness. When we talk about value rather than the price, then we move away from a conversation of the procurement teams and then move towards conversations where we can become big brand partners in driving growth out there. And we've done that so successfully over the past. And I think when we start delivering a larger portion of what the client needs today. We align ourselves with the outcomes that they have, and eventually that can help us out.
Okay. So clients today are working across multiple channels, platforms, and consumer touchpoints, which has renewed discussions over connected solutions. So why has integration become such an important conversation for agencies and clients?
I think if you talk to any CMO over the last 6-7 years, they would averagely be working with anywhere between 6-7 to maybe 12-14 different partners. And weirdly enough, while we've been through turbulent times, those partners would be telling them that their capabilities are doing well and their vanity metrics are showing up well. But when you look at the truth on the business, there's a different story out there. Right? So clients have gone into a place where they want again to go back to trusted partners, and they want those trusted partners to traverse a larger end of the spectrum for them, so that we move away from just delivering services to delivering business outcomes. And that's why integration is becoming so important, because traversing all of these different things is difficult to do with a large set of partners. Eventually the consumer is not seeing the brand any differently, right? The consumer, you and me look at a brand, whether we see it in a piece of influencer marketing, whether on the app, whether we see a communication outdoor, we see the brand seamlessly, and we see the brand as one.
Yes.
And eventually agencies need to align themselves to the needs of the consumer and the needs of the client. And therefore I feel integration is becoming a much larger conversation again.
Okay. The marketer-agency relationship has evolved significantly over the past few years. What are clients expecting from agency partners today that they weren't earlier?
I think things are changing fast. The first thing that clients expect today is speed. Earlier, and I would say maybe a decade or two back, you got a lot more time to deliberate on a brief, to deliberate on a client problem, and come up with a solution. Today also you get that, but it's far and few between. There are so many requirements, just because we spoke about the number of touch points that we have to talk, that a brand has to show up in. A whole bunch of them need to be now done in a much more faster manner, in a timely manner, because things are moving pretty fast. So I think the first one is speed. Second is, about a decade back, digital was just a small channel, a portion of what a client would invest from a media standpoint. Today, digital drives 65% of a client's media spends across the country, maybe even higher in other countries, depending on the segment that you're participating in. So increasingly the expectation is to be digital first and to be more technology centric while you're doing that.
Right.
Third is, in the past, agencies largely provided more solutions in the top and the mid funnel of what a client was doing, largely awareness, some consideration. But with the advent of performance marketing, commerce, e-commerce, now quick commerce, there's an increasing focus to provide solutions across the entire funnel, so full funnel marketing. And there's an increasing focus on providing solutions that drive outcomes in a shorter period of time. While the brand still has to get built over a larger period of time, they're still held accountable in a shorter period of time. And then the last is adaptability. The marketing landscape is changing so fast, clients expect that the agencies are adapting with the marketing landscape and are being able to evolve themselves as fast too.
Okay, fair enough. Then AI is rapidly moving from experimentation to implementation across marketing ecosystems. How do you see it reshaping the agency business over the past few years and the next few years?
See, AI has moved away from the novelty phase, and now it's moved into where it's becoming standard infrastructure, right? I think it's the biggest change in our times. In this century, it's the biggest change that we have. We had the advent of the internet and then search in the 90s.
Right.
And AI is now fundamentally going to change everything, not only advertising. But within advertising itself, AI has become a core part of account management, strategy, creative, production, all teams. And at Omnicom, we are investing heavily into AI. It's probably the biggest investment we are making. We've launched Omni and Omni AI earlier this year at CES. And it's become the nervous system of the organization. whether you're creative, media, strategy, production, any function, we all have access to the same data and the same insights. The amazing part is that we can do all of this in a brand safe manner. A large network like Omnicom has thousands of learnings every single day. This platform allows you to ingest that seamlessly in real-time basis.
Okay.
So whether it's cross-country, cross-agency, cross-function, the most exciting part is we get access to all of those insights through the platform itself.
Right.
But having said all the amazing things about AI, I think human creativity cannot be replaced. In fact, it might become even more important in this AI world.
Yes.
I think the organizations that straddle tech prowess along with human creativity really well, those are the ones that will be very successful. The tech allows you to scale your creativity, but your output is only going to be as good as the input. And therefore, it matters who's actually feeding and controlling the AI.
Of course.
So it's surely going to become the OS of our generation. And I'm very excited on seeing how things are progressing there.
Yeah, me too. Okay. You're entering the role at a pivotal moment for both the industry and the network. As you begin this journey, what will be your immediate priority?
It's an interesting time for sure. I think the first year is all about awareness, internally and externally. Internally, it's about, well, finding these pockets of excellence where they exist, scaling them, making them visible, making them accessible to everyone within the Omnicom advertising system. A lot of times in large organizations, capabilities get built out, but they might not be visible to everyone out there. My job is to make sure that everyone is aware of it and everyone can access them well.
Okay.
With clients, I think sometimes as a company or an agency evolves, clients might carry a perception of the past. So it's increasingly important to make sure that they see you in the way that you are to be seen today. This year I would be very happy if clients got surprised and even pleasantly delighted with what is the length of what Omnicom Advertising has to offer. They would find capabilities across all the different spectrums that we spoke about. And it would be great for them to access them. All of this we are making possible through the Plus model. So the Plus model is something we are pioneering at Omnicom, where irrespective of where the capability lies, everyone can get access to that capability seamlessly for the client and for the agency brand.
Okay.
So I would love for clients to experience the entire length and breadth of what we have to offer.
Okay, fair enough. Transformation is often a long-term process rather than a short-term project. What would success for this role look like for you 3 years from now?
Absolutely, everything takes time. And while year one can all be about awareness, I think long term, it's about actually making that delight into an expectation. It's good in year one if they feel delighted or surprised by what Omnicom has to offer, but can the expectation be that for every new problem that I might have in the broad space of advertising and marketing, are we the first person on your speed dial for you to call? And are you almost expecting that Omnicom would either have the answer, either be building out the answer, or be the right partner to co-develop the answer along with you? That is what I would expect from the clients. And all of this has to be measurable. I am all about numbers. And the objective way to looking at this is, are clients entrusting you with a larger portion of their business, or are they entrusting you with things that they never did with you before?
Right.
New capabilities, new services that they never considered you for before. These are objective ways to see how the client is actually moving and whether this role is becoming a success. At the end of the day, we are here to grow our clients' brands and businesses, and that's the reason we exist.
Fair enough. And congratulations again. It was great talking to you. Thank you so much for being on board.
Thanks, Isha. Such a pleasure.